Hello everybody, really good to be here again. I see I've got a bodyguard behind me somewhere there, I can see that. Who would believe that Dad's Army started 50 years ago? I think those of us who were in it knew we were doing a good programme, but none of us in our wildest dreams thought that 50 years on it would still be being shown by the BBC at prime time on a Saturday evening. So it's really wonderful. And of course this place has a great affection for us because well, we've been here so many times, and it's always like coming to meet our family of friends here. So lovely to be here, lovely to see you all. Hope to have a chat with you later on, and I'm going to give you back to this madman here.
What am I supposed to do now? Take it away, Ian. Take it away, Ian. Yes, well, yes. He said, come and tell a funny story. I've got a funny story. Oh, gee. No, what, we're going to do something about Hitler is a firm, are we? I think so. Yes. Everybody said that, oh, you were in that one. It won, didn't it? It won all the prizes. I wasn't in it at all. I did nothing. I sat on top of a step ladder. I had nothing to do with it. People think it was my line. Go on, say that line. Say your line. Say your line. Well, I just sat there and tried not to laugh at the top. If you notice at the top of the stairs there, the step ladders, David just cuts away, just at the last minute, but not quite soon enough. I'm biting the inside of my cheeks, trying not to laugh because we just knew we got a very funny line there, but we didn't know it was going to go down in history. And that's about it, really. And now you want me to sing? No, you know what the line is? Yeah. What's the line? No. No, it's don't tell him, Pike. Right? Oh dear. Whistle, why do you work? I hope it doesn't go any higher. She said. Whistle while you work, Hitler is a twerp, he's not army, so's his army, whistle while you work.
Your name will also go on the list.
You see, it only works, Michael, if you say, what is it? Whistle while you work. I just noticed, it looks nothing like it, this. Is it? I've just noticed. We didn't have a printer in Warmington on sea. Look. That model looks almost real. It's great. No. Whistle while you work. Hitler is a twerp. He's half army. So's his army. Whistle while you work.
Your name will also go on the list. What is it?
Hello. Yeah, happy to see you all here. How many of you have been here before? Oh, quite a lot. Right, well, you've seen us before, so... Yes, what are you going to say?
Well, it's great to be here again. I wasn't here last year, so I missed it really. But it's lovely to be here again. There's not much else one could say about that. But it's lovely to see you all.
Harold? Yeah, well, I don't have to say much to say something. And we've got the Croft weather. Yes. Whenever we worked on Dad's Army, and I worked on the first 4 series and found all the locations and whatnot, we always had this weather. It was wonderful. It's called the Croft weather. 4 years of on Dad's Army, we had just one afternoon of rain during sort of 6 weeks filming of each series or whatnot. So it's amazing. We've got it again today. Thank you, David. Well, I'll get my own back. And does your wife know that you've taken the curtains down?
No need to shout. It's lovely to be with you on a smashing day, is it not? I'm talking to myself again. I keep asking questions, you've got to answer. It's a lovely day, is it not?
Yes!
Yes, what? Yes, Gordon? Can't wait till you're all friendly, aren't you? Yes. Say anyhow, smashing to be with you. I'm sure you all recognise me as the fire chief, yes? Yes. No, you don't, because I was never in it. It was the very, very first one. The very, very first one. And I was the fire chief. I had a lovely scene with Arthur Lowe. Pardon? And we rehearsed it for 3 days. A very funny scene. Arthur and I wanted as the fire chief of the hall for my firemen, and Arthur wanted it for the lads, drilling. We were arguing, and my firemen were coming with the hoses in between Arthur's legs. He said, "Oh, what's going on now?" And anyhow, on the third night, David Croft phoned me. He said, "Look, we've been sort of timing the show, the very first one, remember?" And he said, "We're going to be way, way over." He said that I can't cut a line here, I've had to cut the whole of your scene. So I was very, very disappointed, of course, but as I said, if I'd known the huge success Dad's Army was going to be, I'd have been heartbroken. When he looked at all the repeats, I mean, it would have been a regular character in the show, I'm sure, because it was a very, very strong bit of writing. Anyhow, he phoned me up 3 weeks later. He promised he'd use me again, and he told me I had to go part of the policeman, and I did the policeman, and that's one of the episodes that's been lost. So what a wonderful start, written out of the first one, and the second one. Anyhow, since then I've done the lighthouse keeper, and the soldier that brought the rifles, the man with the door, you know, all lovely little cameos, which I've thoroughly enjoyed and certainly appreciated the repeats as they come in.
The question we're always being asked, which one is David, which one is Tony? Hands up all those who think I'm David. Hands up all those who think I'm Tony. Hands up all those who couldn't care less what I'm David. We just talked, it's about 35 years that 35 years ago that we all first met for this wonderful series. Here we are all those years later. We had to throw Jeff Holland in the pool. Remember that? And he was quite heavy, wasn't he, Jeff, at that time? He was very athletic but quite heavy, but it was great fun. And we had 8 happy years. We did the stage show, and it's wonderful to be back here with you today. So I hope you have a great day, and I'm sure you'll like to meet Spike in a moment.
Now, I can't sing, and I can't dance, and I certainly can't play the piano. But I do have a contribution to make, and it goes something like this. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong bong bong. Meet the gang, 'cause the boys are here, the boys who entertain you. With music and laughter to help you on your way to raising the rafters with a hey, hey, hey. With songs and sketches and jokes old and new, with us about, you won't feel blue. So meet the gang, 'cause the boys are here, the boys to entertain you. We are here to make you feel gay, so give us a cheer with a hey, hey, hey. Just gather around and put down your gun. With us about, there's plenty of fun. So meet the gang, 'cause the boys are here, the boys to entertain you. B-O-B-O-Y-S, boys to entertain you.
I don't really know. I think because maybe I'm the mother figure. Cuddly?
Definitely cuddly. So it's because of...
I love the kids too, but they're wonderful. They say, "Can I hold your hand, Mrs. Fox? Can I have my photograph taken with you, Mrs. Fox?" And they are lovely. Without all you darlings, where would I be? You're all my family, all my kids. Hello.
See, there's one to come and hold your hand already. Now, Pam, every time you come here, Dad's Army Day, every time it's a year on, but you look a year younger. For all the young ladies here, how do you look so glamorous and keep it up?
I don't know, darling. It's positive thinking, I think.
Now,
Forward and upward all the time. That's it.
now, Eric, there's one thing that's been going on in Wilmington-on-Sea now for many, many years. The character you played, Mr. Claude Gordon, he had a little bit of a thing going for Mrs. Fox, didn't he?
Yes, I've had a thing for Mrs. Fox for many a long year, but I regret to say I'm very disappointed today. On this glorious day, having studied the weather forecast for the last few days, I can't believe the sun is shining from a blue sky, and there is really no excuse for Mrs. Fox not to be wearing her flashings.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me say it's always lovely to come back to Thetford. I mean, it was our home for 9 years, starting in 1968, so we have a great affection for this little town. It's a strange little town, but we got used to that. We soon learned to live the way Thetford people live. It's extraordinary, you know, but they're so kind, and they used to wait for us to come up and start the filming sessions here, and it was lovely to always get a nice warm welcome outside the Bell Hotel. One or two of the, obviously, you know, there are certain things which used to go on off screen, and I won't bore you with those now, but they were quite funny. They take rather a long time to tell those sort of stories. However, it was one of those extraordinary experiences, I think, that, well, certainly I had, and many more. But there is one, you know, people always think that Arthur Lowe and I were sort of daggers drawn because we were on screen, as it were. But we became great mates during that, the whole series. And he did do some rather strange things. And I will tell you just one story about him. We were playing in the Royal Variety Performance in 1975 at the London Play, next to Arthur Lowe, just here. And, you know, you're waiting to go on and take your bow with all the rest of the whole company. And suddenly I heard a noise to the right hand here. And I was just about to look round, and so was Arthur. And we turned round like this, and there was a lady, one of the KwaZulu African dancers, feeding her baby at her breast. Now, there's nothing wrong with this. That poor little thing hadn't eaten properly all day with rehearsals. So he turned around, and Arthur looked at her and shrugged his shoulders. I knew he was going to say something. That's what he used to do. And he said, "He likes a drink, does he?" Oh, I thought, Arthur, can't you leave it alone, really? And we stood around there, and then I thought, that's it. And suddenly his shoulders started to go again. I thought he was going to say something else. And his hands started to move, and I thought, I know he's going to say something. He turned around and he said, "I could do with one right now, I tell you."
Ladies and gentlemen, a little idea I had this morning that I'll pass on to you if you're interested. As I walked up here today, I passed a statue of Thomas Paine, one of the greatest men this country's ever produced, who wrote The Rights of Men and is an international hero. I thought, that is a wonderful statue. It's gold, you've seen it, have you? He was born here in Thetford. And now, about a couple of months ago, we all went down to Brighton to unveil a statue of the great Max Miller, who in point of fact was born in Brighton. His name was Harry Sargent. And I thought, now why don't you, the people of Thetford, erect a statue to Arthur Lowe? Do you fancy it? Now all you've got to do is to raise £50,000. And Arthur Lowe will stand permanently beside one of the greatest men who ever lived, Thomas Paine. And it's lovely to see you all, everyone. Enjoy everything. Gosh, how the time goes. And thank you very, very much.
This is the story of the Loos. We never had too much money when we did Dad's Army. In the beginning, we had even less. And so we couldn't afford those little boxes that are used as loos. So my secretary said, it's all very well, Harold, but I want to spend a penny. What do I do about it? He said, well, you go about 100 yards in that direction. There's a lot of bushes. You can use those same as the boys do. So she very gallantly went 100 yards and then settled down in the bushes. And then somebody blew a whistle, all the bushes got up and walked away.